Hello judges, my name is Zachariah Haynes and our project is the McKinley Technology Rainwater Garden. Our mission for the project is to create a space to store excessive rainwater that plagues the campus of McKinley Tech. The garden provides storage for the rainwater that comes in contact with the campus and gives the campus more scenery. Our ideal plan was to build a model of the school or garden and demonstrate how the water would flow through the school to reach the garden. Sadly, due to recent events, that will not take place. Instead, we will explain how the rainwater garden would have worked, the research put into it, the time it takes to make this project happen, and answer any questions you may have about how it works and more. For research, because as you know, we did do research regarding the project. The research done to complete this project took much time and diligence. Some aspects that needed to be researched included how rainwater runoff is both a negative and a positive, water treatment, and how rainwater has other uses. Our research went far beyond the water in the garden and about the use it has for the students and how they would react to the garden on campus. As for solutions, there were no existing solutions on how to control the rainwater garden that came within contact of the McKinley campus. Since there were no existing solutions, we did not have anything to base our project off of. The obvious solution for the problem before was just to let the rainwater sit and dry, and there was nothing to be done about it. Every solution that could come with this problem is very costly and could actually be a problem. With our solution, we focused heavily on how to make this happen with a budget and enough to be effective as well as cheap. Existing solutions would include things that we as a group would think of and choosing between which one is the most optimal to complete. Our solution to the problem would be the first one, but the most effective. The one thing we needed to complete was how much rain gets on the campus. On average, we get roughly 4 to 5 inches of rain when it rains in a day. With this information, we had to come up with the way that rain would reach the garden and the garden only. Demographics. When deciding who should use the garden, the obvious was the school. We then realized that if our garden was successful, the other facilities would be able to use it. The first idea would be that all DCPS schools would use this to help with the same problem they have. For this part to be done, it would cost a lot, and a big part of our project is to find how we can be the most cost effective and save the most money. We were asked to ask a series of questions and make all of the results anonymous. Though feedback was small, majority of the students said they would be willing to partake in lending a hand in taking care of the garden once finished. Everyone said the garden would greatly benefit the school community and add to the bleak scenery and open space around the school. The purpose of the survey was to see if the garden would actually be a beneficial tool for the school. We wanted to calculate to see if one, in the end result would be likely, and two, how long this end result would be used until it is abandoned. Though it is not completely possible to say that it will be abandoned, we wanted to see an estimate of how long it would take until the garden was forgotten about or eventually taken away. We did construct a prototype. While in school, we were able to start a prototype. It was supposed to consist of a model of the school and a foundation to put the school on, and a clear box to show how the flow of the rain would get to the garden. Unfortunately, we were not able to get any pictures based off what we have accomplished before leaving the building. Explanation. Once the model school was complete and the garden placement was figured out, this is how the project would work. It is a simple process. The first thing we would do is pour enough water on the model to act as rain. There would be a filtering process. There would be a filtering piece of glass to protect from a large amount of water getting on the model and ruining it. The water would reach to the bottom of the model and into the pipes we would have assembled into filtering into the garden. The model would show the process of getting the water into the garden and storage of the water if there were to be an overflow. The actual display would be large enough to fit a model of the school, an accurate representation of the garden, and any extras we would need to make the school an accurate representation of the school. In conclusion, the conclusion we came up with would be how to get the rainwater directed to the garden without having to deal with water in unnecessary places. Our initial conclusion was to have the sort of like a water storage tank that we would build, and the water would just pile up in there. This way we would be able to have the water at times it does not rain, and if a day is missed, taking care of the garden, basic things somebody would do for water when this is being said. We would love to thank a lot of people. First person we would like to thank is Mr. Stemple for guiding us through this process and being an amazing teacher. We would also like to thank Mr. Leslie for giving us talks through the project and helping with providing any assistance. We would also love to thank our mentor, Miss Trent, for helping us answer any question we had about how to get us done and giving us the inspiration for our design. And we would also love to thank her for the tour that she did give us of her facility. That is the end. Thank you and have a great day.